Welcome back to another video on Gearsaw Studios, and today I'm going to be showing you 24w06a, the latest snapshot for 1.21, which introduces wind charges, which allows you to emulate the breeze's attacks by throwing wind charges, as the name states. So without further ado, let's investigate what has changed. For the changelogs, they're not terribly large. Looking at all of this, yeah, it's mostly community stuff from this point down, which means there isn't terribly much to cover. But of course, wind charges dropped by the breeze. The vault texture is changed, the armadillo is a little bit different, and then hoppers will no longer try to pick up item entities if there's a full block placed above it, which means optimizing a storage system is much easier. Now all I need to do is go through with some cobblestone, place it on top, solution. Armadillos have a little bit of small changes, not really worth showing, and the tamed wolves now have double the health, but no longer have damage resistance to environmental sources. Essentially, accidental deaths are much less likely to happen, and generally they're going to be a little bit stronger. So let's look back in game to see how the wind charge works, since it's by far the most interesting thing here. Alright, now with the changelog looked over, we have two main things to look at. One of which is the technical stuff, which I actually found out what it is. It's pertaining to fall damage. So if you really want to, you can go up to any mob and you'll be able to edit its attributes. So once this creeper stops moving, attribute, and then you can see generic gravity and a bunch of other things. So I'm going to set it to probably maybe 0.1. Let's see how that works. So punch it, and it doesn't do anything special. However, if I set it to something like 10, then you notice it doesn't move like at all when punched. That's because gravity is affecting it highly. Notice how quickly it falls. So, you see, that's what the gravity attribute does. You can do a bunch of other things pertaining to fall damage, which means you could potentially make something immune to fall damage or die instantly from one block. And then we have the other thing, the breeze's new drop, the wind charge. And this is the equivalent of a fire charge, except you can throw it with your hands. And it's exactly what you think it is. So, summoning a breeze, let's see if I can play the game while talking. Of course, this isn't exactly the easiest thing to get, and the breeze is of course a massive threat actually, due to how aggressive it is. So, now that I've defeated it, surprisingly, I have 6 wind charges. Here, we have the high gravity creeper, so it's not going to do anything to this. But essentially, what I can do is I can boost myself away, like this. It's not very strong, it's 10% stronger than the normal breeze blast, but it does change your fall damage, because it will assume that you're falling from right here, which means you technically take negative fall damage. You don't heal from it, but still, it's quite nice, since you'd have to fall an extra 4 blocks from your starting location in order to take any damage. Say like this should definitely kill me, but it doesn't. Along with that, it's a breeze charge, although technically wind charge. This means it can edit things like trapdoors exactly how a breeze would, like this. So you want to make an evil trap? Well, simple. Place a bunch of trapdoors, and then throw these at it while people are going over it, and what do you know, perfect base defense. So of course, you'd have to farm the breeze a lot to do this. Now there's a use for breeze farms, since trial keys aren't very useful anymore. But still, with all this, I assume there's quite a few redstone applications, even though they might be hard to get in large quantities. While there really isn't too much to talk about besides the fact that this fall damage prevention doesn't apply to other mobs, which means you could use it in order to deal fall damage, but it's wildly inconsistent, you can actually parry these on your own. Although the speeds needed for this are unreasonable, still, you can easily parry these in creative mode. Just a little neat feature, who knows, this might have a legitimate usage. Potentially play a very hardcore match of volleyball with someone. However, to my knowledge, these are not slowed by liquids, which means an underwater match wouldn't be particularly valuable. So, who knows, you might be able to make a mini game out of this through the punching back and forth, but otherwise, this is a mildly interesting item that should not impact too much. And with that, it's the end of today's video. If you enjoyed this video, remember, please like and subscribe, and also share your opinions on the new wind charge. I feel like they're a little too scarce to get much use out of them, considering, of course, they're consumed upon use. So, of course, share your thoughts down below. Either way, enjoy the rest of your day. Gearsaw out.